help with his internet business. I had some experience with internet marketing and things like that. And he wanted help for his app. So I started to help him with it. I had this great game plan. I'm like, okay, this is what you need to do. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. Let's get excited. And he's like, okay, great. Yeah, no problem. And I'm like, all right, here you go. Start building your business this way. This is what worked for me. This is going to work for you, and go. I check on him a week later for our next weekly phone call. Nothing. I'm like, wait, why? What's going on? He's like, I don't know, man. I got busy with life. I didn't have enough time. And I'm like, okay, well, I understand. Well, let's try it again for this week. So I gave him a little bit more information, gave him some ideas of what to do, right? He's like, okay, got it. Next week happens. Hey, Wahid, did you try my suggestions to help with your time? Did you get the stuff done? No. Well, did you even try? Did you I had this, there was a cat in a tree and I had to climb the tree to save the cat. And, there's not enough water for the whales. So, all these excuses. And I was like, what the hell's going on here? Like, I'm giving you gold and you're not listening to it. And I started to get frustrated, right? Now, it didn't take long for us to realize he had a mental block that was kind of preventing him from doing the things that he needed to do or that he said he wanted to do, but we couldn't figure it out. Neither one of us could. And at that time, I didn't have the tools that I have now to help. Now, quick question. Have any of you ever been in a situation where, again, it could be something for your health, it could be something for fitness, it could be something for money, it could be anything, where you went to get something done and no matter what happened, nothing actually got accomplished? Whether you procrastinated, whether life just threw you a curveball, just something happened. Shirley raises her hand. Appreciate that. It's just weird. It's kind of funny how that works. I got a theory. Yeah, Joanna understands. Joanna gets it. But we'll get into that. Now, obviously, the frustration from both our parts. He's frustrated that he's not getting anywhere. He's mad at himself. I'm upset that he's not listening to the things because I have all the answers. But it started to color both of our perceptions of what was going on. I start to see him different as just a guy who just didn't want it bad enough. He started to see himself as a guy who couldn't get it done. And who's drawing on my board? My own agenda started to take over, meaning what I was thinking was happening, I just assumed that was the truth. Oh, he's not a hard worker. He's just wasting my time. He paid me this money, and for what? Well, I don't care. I'm going to do what I can. I'm just going to yell and force and make him to do it. Ask me how that worked. Go ahead and ask me. How did that work? It didn't work at all. It was bad. It was bad. Really bad. Long story short, I failed him. And I failed him spectacularly. He tried nothing. Nothing was accomplished. He was no closer to his goal of having an internet business 2 months later than when we first started. And here's the thing. I wasn't his first coach. He wasn't the first person. I wasn't the first person he hired. I wasn't the first anything. I was just going to help him get past whatever roadblocks there were, thinking that he just needed more productivity hacks and tricks and use your calendar and, things like that. That's not how people work. And we're going to learn why, right? But this is what I learned. I need to know more about coaching and human psychology, because there was times where I also tried to accomplish something and I couldn't because I was getting my own way. I didn't know why. The desire was there. A lot of times the work ethic was there. But then when I tried to do it, something always pulled me back. So it's very easy to see it in other people, right? It's very easy to point fingers of like, oh yeah, he didn't do this, he didn't do that. Well, he should do this. I mean, how often do we do this as a people? I'm gonna speak for myself. Maybe you guys can agree with this. Somebody comes to me with a problem, especially my wife. Oh, maybe it's a man thing. She'll say, hey, Janice from accounting is getting on my nerves. And I'm like, well, what you need to do about Janice from accounting? And I start giving her advice. Did she ask me for advice? Wait a minute, did she ask me for advice?
No.
No, she asked me for no goddamn advice. Did she ask me for what I think she should do? For me to tell her what to do?
Nope.
No. She just wanted me to listen. Right? But I didn't understand that. Why he was the same way. He thought, or I thought that he needed me to kind of motivate him and push him the way I do some on basketball players. That's not what he needed. He may not have been able to articulate what he needed because he's still like a feeling. And oftentimes the part of our brain that handles decision making and emotions and things like that. It's not the same part of our brain that handles complex things like communication and things like that. So a lot of times there are certain times when you, like if you asked, how do you feel about something or someone, it's hard to put into words. That's a lot of times why we get these confusions. And so I have to humble myself a bit. And I learned, well, maybe there's a better way for me to help people get the things that they want. And maybe sometimes what they want is what they have already and they just want to talk. How do I tell the difference?